So this episode is all about how anxiety and OCD might look to everyone outside of the person who has it. And the truth is, anxiety and OCD, they can affect everyone around that person as well. And so that's what we're here to talk about today.
Welcome back to Raising Resilience, 25 tips for parenting your child with anxiety or OCD. I'm Dr. Josh Spitalnick, practice owner of Anxiety Specialists of Atlanta. I'm a licensed psychologist, board certified in cognitive behavioral therapy. And I have with me my co-author and colleague, Marti Munford, licensed professional counselor.
So jumping in, tip number 19, be aware of how your child's anxiety or OCD might be affecting other people in your home, in particular your other children.
And this is critical because often when a parent brings a child into therapy or when someone focuses on the child's problems, there's not usually a lot of attention that's extended to other siblings or other family members that are involved. And I think it's critical to address the entire system and all family members or all stakeholders, especially if there's other kids that are involved, watching mom and child fight or duke it out and realizing, like, why am I not getting attention, which seems a little bit odd, but negative attention is still attention.
Sure. Well, and also, depending on what the theme of the anxiety is, sometimes that means extra household chores go undone. Sometimes it means that one child is trying to pick up the slack of keeping everyone happy, right? Or maybe trying to put aside their own wants and needs to make sure that status quo is maintained. And that can create a lot of resentment, and it can make things difficult for the whole family to be on the same team.
In the last episode, Marti, we talked a little bit about the concept of thoughts and beliefs and how not all thoughts are beliefs. Mm-hmm. And this is a critical point when we think about sort of taboo topics and perverse topics. And a lot of topics in the OCD and anxiety space have a lot of shame and embarrassment with them. I would extend the concept of shame and embarrassment to tip 19, which is let's get it out. Let's put the name out there. Let's put the phrase separation anxiety or OCD or, emetophobia, fear of throw up out there. Let's get it out there so the siblings know what's going on in the household. Or, maybe your guy or girlfriend knows what's going on in your own family so you can get the proper support. Because again, so often when these things are happening behind closed doors in the house and there's a lot of secrets and hidden shame, the rest of the people don't really know what's going on. And if there's other kids in the family or other little ones in the household, I think it's a critical thing to open up that dialogue, to name it, and to get beyond sort of the fear and shame of no one discuss it. It also gives everybody a chance to support the child or the kid with anxiety or OCD and to make sure that we're all there to help each other out.
So this kind of gets us into tip number 20, which is that anxiety doesn't often make a lot of sense.
No.
And so sometimes you really need to be talking with the person who's experiencing the anxiety to know what the worry rules look like. And I always tell patients, let that be evidence for you too. If you need to explain the rules to me, that tells us something, right? But that's the truth. So it might not resonate with someone who's not experiencing it. And so being able to not think about it from a logic brain as much as it is about what is the intention of this action, because remember, it's all about the compulsions, it's not about the worry. What is the intention of that action, and how do we help our kid do the opposite? That's really what it gets down to. And sometimes that can feel silly or different or not make a lot of sense when you're trying to come at it with your logic brain. If
you use the baseline concept of opposite, and anxiety and fear really encourage us, if not reward us, to run away, we're basically teaching the mindset of running towards fear that's not dangerous. And so we'll often hear with therapists and with families, like, what do you mean by the opposite? How do we think that way? And so we'll talk about sort of this paradox kind of thinking, this opposite effect, that if you think you're going to do this, do something that looks like this over here. If you're going to go away, go towards. If you're going to go towards, go away. It could be something as simple as, I see a knife on the kitchen counter and the child always walks in the living room, bypasses the kitchen and goes to the back bedroom, and assuming that the knife is not dangerous, not going to hurt anyone, I want to encourage them to walk near the knife, knowing that there's no harm by walking near a knife. If the person is afraid to raise their hand in school because they don't want to be embarrassed and get called out because they have social anxiety, it's not easy. But one of the most challenging and brave things a kid can do is put that hand in the air, which feels very opposite because they want to do this and hide. And boy, do teachers love the kid that never talks in class. But we want your kid talking in class. We want your kid advocating for themselves. We want them being heard. And so that opposite or paradox concept can play out in almost any scenario where you see a child doing something other than what you think they probably should be doing.
So this is a conversation that really harkens back to what is the externalization of that anxiety, right? So we know this isn't me, and then also what is me, right? There's values coming back in. And if you can know those two pieces, you know what it is that you're moving towards and what it is that you're moving away from.
In tip 19, I think in family therapy, in OCD work, and really on a national level, when we talk about anxiety and OCD, there's never really enough support groups for family members. There's a lot for parents and caregivers, but not for other family members. And I just want to acknowledge a really amazing video that came out a few years ago in the OCD community, a video called Unstuck, an OCD kids movie. Well done, follows the science of what OCD and treatment looks like. And one of my favorite parts about it is that it really showcases siblings and other family members watching the journey of some of these kids who have OCD and anxiety and their parents' stories, but also their siblings' stories. And I've enjoyed sharing that video with family members to give to their siblings, and want to thank the people who are involved in producing that video, because it's been powerful, it's honest, and it's advocated for other people in the family having a voice and being an active participant in helping that primary child get better.
So we hope you enjoyed this episode, learning a little bit more about what OCD and anxiety might look like to the people around the person suffering. If you like this video and you want to see more, follow us, subscribe, and check out the next videos as we finish out our list of 25 tips.
We'll see you soon.